Stop. Don't pull your wallet out. Don't sign the papers. Don't buy a gun until you hear me out. Every year, folks rush to the counter. Glock boys snapping up the next perfection. SIG fanboys swearing their pistol's the only road worth walking. But I've seen too many shooters waste money on steel that don't live up. Iron that digs into your ribs, or plastic kinks that choke the second you need them most. 2025 ain't the year to buy blind. There are pistols right now that'll outshoot, outcarry, and outlast the ones everyone's yelling about. Guns that'll make you second guess the must-buys and rethink the so-called legends. Hang tight. Before you make a mistake you can't take back, let me show you the handguns that actually earn their spot. The ones worth your money, and the ones fanboys pray you don't notice. Glock boys hate this one worst of all, the X Macro. They'll laugh, say it's just hype, another overpriced SIG trying to steal the crown, but watch their eyes. They don't leave it alone, they follow it. Won't admit it, but they know what's sitting across from their 43X. This pistol's got the nerve to pack near full-size firepower into something that vanishes under a t-shirt. 17 rounds, flat as a board on recoil, carry comfort that don't dig holes on your side. That right there puts it in Glock territory and then some. I've seen it go down at the range not long back. One fellow with his trusty Glock 19 grinning, talking circles, called the X Macro SIG's plastic toy. First string of fire, his Glock barked, brass scattering, target looking like buckshot. Then the SIG took its turn. 5 shots, 1 hole, clean as truth in a liar's face. His grin, gone. Pride don't vanish loud, it fades quiet. He muttered about the price, about being too new, about aftermarket, but excuses ain't armor. That's why the X Macro sticks it in their throat, cause every pull reminds them Glock ain't untouchable anymore. Most men walk straight past this pistol, won't even give it a second look. They're too busy signing papers on a Glock or dropping coin on some shiny steel they don't need. But here's the truth. If you buy before seeing the Beretta APX A1 carry, you're setting yourself up for regret. I've seen it with my own eyes. Fanboys leaning in, waiting for it to choke, laughing like the show's already over. Then the first string fires, snap, 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 and the target rolls back clean, 1 hole chewed dead center. Silence. That ugly little gun just embarrassed every perfect pistol on the bench. That's why they hate it. Not because it failed, but because it didn't. And the sting cuts worse when you find out it runs for half the price of the plastic crown they're clinging to. So stop, don't laugh it off. Don't sign that form till you've seen it work. The APX A1 carry may not look like much, but it'll make kings look small. Miss it, and you'll be the one making excuses. A cop didn't recommend this gun, his wife did. I was sitting in the waiting room at a range one afternoon waiting for my lane. Couple next to me, probably late 40s, quiet. Turns out the guy was a local cop. I figured he'd be the one to strike up gun talk, but it was his wife. She noticed the Glock 19 on my hip and smiled. Said, "My husband used to carry one of those until I made him switch." I looked over, confused. She didn't even blink. "CZP-10C, she said. "That thing's built like a tank, but it shoots like a Cadillac, and I shoot better with it than anything else he owns." Now, I've heard a lot of things at gun ranges, but I've never taken advice from a cop's wife before. Still, something about the way she said it stuck with me. A week later, I tracked one down, no expectations, just curiosity. And that was 2 years ago. Since then, I've sold 4 pistols I thought I loved. None of them felt as planted, none of them felt as smooth, and none of them earned my trust like the P10C. It's the only gun I've ever owned that feels like it's daring you to outshoot it, and you won't. So yep, Glock's still on my belt some days, but the P10C, that one lives in the safe I actually trust. So the next time you want gun advice, don't ask a guy like me, ask the one who watches him come home safe every night. I didn't expect much, and now it's the only one I reach for when things feel off. I bought the PDP Compact on a total impulse. Didn't even need another gun. I was just tired of the same old striker-fired feel. Everyone online was yelling about Glock this, Sig that. Walther felt like a footnote, but from the first time I racked it, something clicked. The slide, like it was on rails. The grip, the best I've ever felt on a polymer pistol. I didn't even adjust anything, just loaded it and went straight to the range. It didn't impress me with flash, it earned me with comfort. Every shot went where I wanted, follow-ups came fast, recoil felt absent, and the trigger, crisp, consistent, predictable, like it knew what I wanted before I did it. But I didn't start trusting it until a night I won't forget. We heard a noise at the door. It was late. I grabbed the PDP without even thinking. Not my carry gun, not my bedside revolver, just instinct. This was the one I felt good holding when it mattered. Turns out it was nothing, but that moment said everything. There's something about the PDP that doesn't scream, doesn't brag. It just works. It's never jammed, never slipped, never made me second guess anything. It's the only pistol I've used where I forget the gun and just focus on the shot. Trust doesn't come from ads, it comes from nights like that. I thought it was overkill, and then one night made me rethink everything. I used to look at the FN 509 like it was trying too hard. The cuts, the angles, the controls, it all screamed tactical guy with too much money. I figured it was one of those guns that sits in a safe next to a plate carrier that's never been worn. So I ignored it for years. Then I set up a stupid little test at home just for fun. Killed the lights, ran a flashlight drill from the bedroom to the front door, try every carry pistol I had, find the one I could trust blind, and half of them failed something. My hellcat's grip kept slipping, my Glock 43 sights vanished in the dark, one pistol had a sticky mag release, another didn't want to rack one-handed. All stuff I'd never noticed on the range. Then I picked up the 509 Compact MRD and everything just worked. The grip locked in, the red dot found me, mag dropped fast, reload clicked home like muscle memory, slide felt like it wanted to rack itself. It was like the gun was 5 steps ahead of me, and then I realized I'd been mocking a gun that was built for the exact moment I just simulated. So I bought one the next morning. Still not the prettiest, still feels like it was designed by an angry Lego engineer, but I'll tell you right now, when it's dark and your hands are shaking and every second counts, you stop caring how tactical it looks. I thought I was buying trash. Turns out I was the idiot. I walked into the shop that day looking for ammo, not a gun. But this kid behind the counter, fresh out of high school, probably still thinks Call of Duty is a training simulator, holds up a Stoker STR-9C and says, "This is what I'd carry." I raised an eyebrow. Stoker? I knew them from shotguns, cheap shotguns. I didn't even know they made handguns. And here's this guy trying to sell me one like it's the next Glock killer. But I'll admit, it felt good in the hand. Real good. Slim, grippy, and balanced. I still didn't trust it though, but it was $299 with 3 mags and night sights. That's not a typo. I figured worst case, it's a glove box gun I won't cry over. First range trip, I brought backup. My Glock 26 just in case this thing fell apart or jammed itself into a paperweight. Instead, it ran every mag like it had something to prove. Steel, brass, dirty reloads, didn't care. The trigger, way better than it had any right to be. Recoil, manageable. Accuracy? Tight enough, I started second-guessing my own carry choice. I stood there halfway through my third mag thinking, what the hell is going on here? People clown on cheap pistols, and usually, yeah, for good reason. But this one, it humbled me. It made me realize price doesn't always tell the truth. It just shuts people up who never bothered to shoot it. I didn't want it, I didn't need it, but it wouldn't stop showing up. You ever have a gun follow you around? Every shop I walked into for 2 months, there it was, Ruger American, sitting behind glass like it was waiting on me. I'd glance, keep walking. Too big, I told myself. Too plain, and besides, I already had a dozen striker guns. Why add one I'd never even heard anyone brag about? But one afternoon, I gave in. Picked it up, racked it. Grip angle felt dead on. Slide felt smoother than half the Glocks I've owned. I asked to see the trigger just out of curiosity, and it broke like it had something to prove. So I bought it almost out of spite. Took it to the range that weekend. No warm-up, no sight adjustment, just brass and instinct. It shot better than my M&P and handled softer than my P320. Didn't ask for attention, just ran clean and stayed honest. No one talks about this thing. You won't see it trending, but it reminded me what a pistol should really be. Built tight, priced fair, and no drama. Sometimes a gun that keeps showing up is trying to tell you something. Everyone chased hellcats. I got burned carrying this one, and now some are saying IWI's pulling the plug. I passed over the Masada Slim when it came out. Everyone was chasing the Hellcat and P365 hype train. I thought IWI was trying to bait us with another nice-looking gun none of the YouTubers talked about, until one day I was handed mine by a friend who had been carrying it for months. He said, "Try it. I'll bet it hides better, handles better, and runs cleaner than whatever you're packing." I don't know what I expected, but it sure wasn't that. First mag, damn near forgot to breathe. Fit in the hand like it was molded to me. Trigger was good enough for a compact. Clean break, fast reset. Biggest surprise? It took CZ 75 mags with no fuss. Standard mags, no proprietary garbage, perfect fit. I started appendix carrying it for a full week straight. It disappeared, no printing, no belt bounce. Grouped tighter than my carry P365, not a single malfunction, even with cheap steel case ammo. Felt light, but shot like a full size. But here's the kicker. I went to 2 shops trying to buy another one for a friend, and both guys behind the counter said the same thing. We don't carry it, nobody asks for it. That told me everything. Good guns don't always win, loud ones do. The Masada Slim got buried under Hellcat ads, SIG hype, and plastic frame clickbait. Meanwhile, it's one of the best carry pistols I've ever owned, and most people won't even give it a second glance. That's fine, more for me. Stick around though, because my number one pick is a gun that isn't even recommended by a cop, but by his wife. You'll want to hear that story. Everyone said it was ugly, I said the same, until it outshot me at my own range. The PX4 Storm is one of the most disrespected pistols on the market. Everyone loves to trash it online, says it's bulky, weird looking, and outdated. I used to agree with that. That slide looks like a submarine. I saw one in a case once and thought, who the hell buys this thing? Apparently, my buddy did. He brought his PX4 compact carry to the range, tossed it on the table next to my M&P, and said, "Let's see which runs cleaner." I couldn't help but laugh, and that was a big mistake. Same ammo, same targets, same distance. I shot first, decent group, couple of flyers. He picks up that clunky Beretta and drills dead center like he's got a laser on it. Slide barely moved. We ran it again, same results. I was standing there red-faced, trying to figure out how a pistol that looks like a melted flashlight just mopped the floor with me. And the worst part? It felt incredible in the hand. That rotating barrel is no gimmick. It shoots flat, eats anything, and feels like a tuned machine. I bought the same model a week later. Langdon package just like his. And now, the rumor is Beretta might be discontinuing the PX4 lineup starting 2026. If that's true, it's a damn shame. This thing finally earned respect, and now they might pull the plug? Figures. I bought this thing as a joke. A full-size 1911 chambered in 9mm for under $400 from Turkey? I figured I'd shoot it once, hate it, and then use it as a paperweight or gift it to some poor bastard in the family who asks dumb questions about guns. First range trip, I swear on my life, I couldn't hit anything with it. Not low, not high, just somewhere. I left thinking, yeah, that's what I get for buying a cheap 1911. But I brought it back a week later, not to shoot it again, but to show a buddy how bad it was. He picks it up, runs a full mag, center punches every damn shot, slow fire, tight group. I'm standing there watching my cheap pistol perform like a LeBaron knockoff and realizing real quick, this wasn't the gun's fault. So I took it back, slowed down, focused, let that crisp single action trigger surprise me, and suddenly I'm getting groups tighter than I've ever pulled off with a plastic striker gun. I'm not even a 1911 guy, but this one, it taught me something. For once, the gun wasn't holding me back, it was my ego. You want an honest pistol that forces you to grow? T-Sauce is it. Not flashy, not brag-worthy, but it'll expose your flaws before it shows you its own. And that's rare in any price range. Don't be one of them yourself. This Turkish gun made me question every Glock I've ever bought. When someone first told me to try a SAR 9, I laughed. I've owned Glocks since before half the internet experts were even born. Why would I swap out something proven for a Turkish pistol nobody talks about? But curiosity got the best of me. I picked up the compact version at a local shop, mostly just to prove to myself it wasn't worth it, and guess what happened after that? That's where the problem started. It felt better in the hand than my Glock 19. Like, actually better. Deeper grip, natural angle, no finger grooves fighting me. Slide felt tight, and the trigger, clean break, not mushy, not heavy, just smooth. And I still didn't trust it at that point. Took it to the range, expecting it to confirm all my doubts, stovepipes, FTFs, something, but it didn't even hiccup once. Fed everything, ran flat, gripped tighter than I'd admit in front of friends. I even ran it side by side with my 19. The SAR 9 just felt more controllable, more locked in. I left that range mad, because nobody in this country gives these guns a chance. Everyone's too busy chasing Glocks, paying $650+ for polymer with zero soul. Meanwhile, this SAR 9 compact is sitting under glass for $400 collecting dust. I didn't want to like it, but I carried it for 2 months straight after that range day. I'm not seeing it replaces a Glock, but it sure made mine feel overpriced. I laughed at this gun, and now I'm pissed I didn't buy two. I was standing at the back of the range when some old guy pulled out this weird looking pistol. It said Grand Power on the side. I thought it was an airsoft. The thing looked like a knockoff CZ someone built in a garage in Slovakia. I didn't even hide my smirk. Then I watched him chew the center of a target at 15 yards. Slow controlled fire, no flinch, no muzzle flip. I walked over, said nothing, and he just handed it to me like he already knew. I ran 10 rounds through it. Slow, then fast. It didn't move. The trigger broke like glass, and the reset hit like a click pen. I just stood there with it in my hand, thinking, why have I never heard of this damn gun before? I've owned SIGs, Walthers, all the usual showboats. This thing felt better than half of them, and nobody talks about it. I found one a week later for just under $500. Bought it, should have bought two, because I'll tell you right now, if this had a Glock logo on the side, it'd be in every gun shop glass case in America. But it doesn't, so people miss it. Now you've seen them. The pistols that flipped the script in 2025. Some embarrassed the fan clubs, some stole thrones. All of them proved you don't need hype to run clean. So here's my question. Which one of these would you trust with your hide, and which one's just smoke to you? Drop it in the comments. I'll be there watching the sparks fly. I'm Steve, and remember, money don't grow back once it's spent, and pride won't save you in a fight. Trust the iron that works, not the name they shout loudest.